Hello friends, so today we'll discuss a device that will stabilize your video. So many times it happened like you have a very good camera, you are trying to take a video out of it, and while taking the video by your hand is actually shaking, and because of that the costly camera is giving you a very poor result because of the shake and because of the lacking of the stabilizer available in your camera or not that good camera stabilizer. You might be suffering for this. So why not to buy a stabilizer? So the stabilizer today we'll discuss is Zhiyun Crane. So this is the Zhiyun Crane V2. I already unboxed it, so this time it won't be a full clean unboxing, but still you can see whatever is there within it. So this comes with this kind of packaging, and if you open the package, so this is a very nice and rugged box they provide. You can carry it anywhere like a suitcase. So this is how we open this, and you have the main thing here. So this is the main body. So usually any stabilizer as such contains all the this particular thing doesn't came with this. I will just remove it and I'll introduce when the need will come for this. And there is a problem in this V2 I figured out, and to solve that, actually it's specific to the mirrorless cameras. To solve that we will need this one, and why and all details, all the physics behind that, everything will come back. So this one I'm keeping aside, it's not coming with the package. So this is the main body. So this body, you can see it has so many moving parts. So this is 3-axis gimbal. There you might see some gimbals having only 2 axes. So what are the axes? So this is called roll. So actually this is the object. Roll means there are 3 axes of this 3-dimensional object. This is roll, this is yaw, and this is pitch. Yeah, this is roll, this is yaw, and this is pitch. So these are the 3-axis movements. So why we need 3-dimensional 3-axis gimbal or 2-axis gimbal? What is the difference between 2-axis and 3-axis? All this thing we'll learn. So this is the main part. Yeah, it has the motor here. These are the different 3 motors, and the main some circuits will be there around, and this is the battery case. So we'll bring out the batteries. Now this is the other part of the gimbal. You have to put it here, but before that you have to insert the batteries. So they provides 2 pair of battery. So this is 1 pair. This itself lasts so long. I have never exhausted it. What is the exhausting period, or how long it lasts? You can check the specifications. I'm not going into that details. And you have 1 more pair of battery, and they have a battery charger also. Let me get it out. So this is the battery adapter that also comes with this package, and you just put it here like this, and there are 2 USB ports you can enter for giving double power. So you can enter only 1 power cable, and then you can see it charging. Both of the battery will charge. But if you provide the both side battery charger or adapter from the power cable, you will get it will be double. It will be charging faster. It will be double the speed probably. So there are the indicators that will tell you when it fully charged, and all these things there is usual for a good branded companies. They will provide this. So we're keeping aside all these other things, and that's it. It has, and this screw you already saw, right? So this screw, they provide this kind of 2 screw. So they are 2 different threads depending on 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. I think that are the 2 threads globally available. It can fit with anything. So it has a weight capacity of, I think, minimum 300 gram to maximum 1.5 kg, something like that. Yeah, 350 gram to 1.8 kg. is the carrying capacity. So we will stabilize this. Before that, we'll know what we are exactly doing when we'll try to stabilize a gimbal, as such any gimbal. So let's take an example. So think about this. This is a suppose this is a one-dimensional object, and you want to stabilize it. Stabilize means what? There should be one point by which, if you try to keep this object, it will be in stable state. It will not fall down. It will be there. You have to find out. So that is what we will be doing there. That finding out the point. So suppose this is for a single dimension, only the length available. Suppose it doesn't have any thickness. So for that, this is the center of gravity, or the point through which, if you suspend it without any external force, then it will be stable. So this is for a single dimension. Now go to a two-dimensional object, length and breadth. So you find out that single dimension length, for that this is the point, but that is not enough. You have to find out a point. It's a line, because it's a two dimension. You have to find out a point that is lying within this line. So you're actually finding out per dimension. For one dimension, you're finding out what is the center of mass, and then out of that you're finding out the center of mass for the other dimension. So this is the line. So obviously the center of gravity, or that stabilized point, will be falling under this line. So we'll forget about all this side. This is the line. Somewhere here we have to find out the point. So because it is a two-dimension thing, we will calibrate across one dimension, which is the length, and now by this line, by breadth. So this line I am trying to put somewhere the button, somewhere my finger, and try to see where it's stabilizing. So this is the stabilizing point, by which by this point, if I put a thread and suspend it, it should be in equilibrium position. It will be stable. So that is the stable point of a two-axis gimbal, you can say, or a two-dimensional object. You have to calibrate for two dimensions, so twice. Now let's come for a three-dimensional object. So you already got a for the first dimension, suppose you got a point, and for the second dimension, out of the line you got another point. I'm not stabilizing it for the time sake. And then suppose it is stabilized, and then it's not enough, because now you have a height and an extra diameter. So out of the height, that line, that thickness within that line, if I put a needle inside this, through this line, on that needle there will be a point where, if we suspend this three-dimensional object, it will be in stable state. So that is the third dimension we have to stabilize by some mean, but it's not possible for this. We have to make a hole and find out that point, and have to do something in that point, so that really we can tie a thread or something into that point and hold it like this, and it will be in stable state. So that is just the idea about what we really try to do while we try to stabilize any stabilizer gimbal. And like this is the electronic gimbal, there can be a handheld gimbal, that I will come to some other channel. That will come to some other video. We will post some other video for that. Okay, so let's come to the stabilizing point. So for that I should have a camera. So I will bring out my Sony A6500, which is a mirrorless camera. And before we start all this, we have to make the plane really horizontal to the main plane. So for that I have taken this table. This table is really horizontal, I can assume, and then let's try to fix it on the plane. So I have taken one tripod. This is a small mini tripod. It doesn't comes with this, but it comes with the mobile 3-axis gimbal, or mobile gimbal, I don't know how many axis. Zhiyun Crane provides a mobile gimbal, and that is very cheap, I think, like cheap in cost, but the quality is very good. So that comes with this kind of one tripod, mini tripod. So I bought it separately because it doesn't comes, Zhiyun Crane V2 doesn't comes with that. and this will be my plane by which I'll be stabilizing. Now this is the positive side of the battery, that will be on the top. So all the positive side will be on the top. That way we are putting down all this thing and locking the thread. And closing it. So it is done. Now what we will do, okay, better, because this is very light, I will prefer to thread it like this. Okay, now it's tight. I'll allow it to rest on the plane. I see there is a tilt because this ball head has a tilt. I'll loosen it up and make it perpendicular to the ground and tight it as much possible. But this ball head tripod has a problem. Like this ball slips when it gets too much load. Okay, so this is the state of this gimbal for now. And if you try to switch it on now by these buttons, there are some buttons to play with this. So this is the power button. Once you power it up, it will try to stabilize. But as you saw, the 350 gram is the starting weight. So there should be some weight, at least the 350 gram weight at least on this, so that it can start stabilizing. Otherwise there will be extra pressure on the motor, because this part itself has a big weight. It can't it won't be good, or okay, we'll not go to the details. So let me bring my camera. Okay, so here is my camera. So the rule of thumb is, or you must do, is remove all the moving parts, or whatever you really won't have while shooting on the gimbal, like the strip. You have to remove the strip. It has a weight, and it can change the center of gravity. So I'm removing it. And guys, excuse me for the noise. I don't have a big studio to capture this, so whatever I get around me is trying to figure it out. So this cap also you have to remove, and then you have a full bare minimum item. So now we'll come back to this part. Here this part also doesn't come with this. This is also that. So this is your stage. So you have to hold it, you have to put it like this, and put your gimbal here. So this is the bigger thread. I should use this thread. Just loosen it up, because you have to move it little up and down, and be careful. Just tighten it a bit. Okay, so now we'll try to stabilize this. So first we'll stabilize across the, so this is roll. We'll not take care of this. This roll is actually this motor, this roll, and then this is the yaw, and this is the pitch. So we will first stabilize across the pitch axis. So what we will do, we will try to make it stable here. How? So we will loosen it up, and so these things are movable. See, this is a movable, left and right you can move it, if you can see. And see, if I move it in the furthest corner, it comes out till this, it will lock here, so don't worry. And it's in unstable position, and your head can bang on the surface, be careful. So let me go back to a good state and try to insert it further more, and see, it's now stable. Looks like it's stable. Let me tighten it up. See, it's facing down. And now, so that you have to move back and forth. So the track, if you see, the track is like this, so you have to move it like this, so that you can move back and forth and stabilize across that. Stabilize this. Now it is little tilted in the left. So what we will do, so this part, you see, this can slide again on this track, so you can loosen it up and move little this side. See how much you need to move left and right. See, now it is stable, and you can tighten this pin, this one up. So now see, it is stable across. It's stable across here. And what you did now, let's stable it on this axis. This is the pitch axis. So for that we lose this one and move in back and forth. You see, it's stable now. And then tighten it, and then this one, the yaw axis. For yaw axis, we have to keep it like this and see how it is. Now see, while trying to move it like this, it is hitting the base. So there is a problem of the center of mass getting shifted too much towards the down, because it's a mirrorless camera and the weight is very less. So the center of mass is actually falling down. It's somewhere in the downward, not in the upward. So somehow if we can elevate it little up, then the center of mass can go little up, and then we can get some breathing space here. It won't hit it. So in this way also we can find out. So for that, what I did is, this is one more somehow to elevate it. So I found this one from one of my mechanical gimbal, that is not electrical. So this one to elevate this much thick up. So I found that works pretty well for me. But you see, this two axis, if it is already stabilized, you have different position also. Yeah, fine, this is fine. So see, if this two axis is already stabilized, and if you feel that you are not going to shoot it like this, you are just trying to keep it like this, then there is no much work of this axis. So sometimes you will see two axis gimbal, because the two axis is bare minimum, and the third axis you may or may not use. So in case if you are not using this axis and you are shooting like this, you can do this kind of movement, and this kind of movement, and also this kind of movement. All these three motors can move by this joystick. This joystick will give you the features. For that we'll create another video. So, and there are some other modes and all, follow mode and many things. Those we'll discuss in later video. So without stabilizing this across this axis or the yaw axis, you can still use the gimbal. So in that case it's okay. You don't have to buy anything extra, you don't have to hook it up. But in case if you want to use this axis also, so let me open it and tie it up with the other one. So what I will do, I'll just move it up. I'll tie this one up here. So let me show you. This is the parts I'm adding. It has a slight You can slide it up like this and slide it in. And it has two hole, and I'll put it into here through this to tight it up. Okay, now I need to take out this part. It has its own screw. I'll just fix it with my camera. I will fix it by this angle. I could have done by this, but I will do it by this so that it will get some more breathing space to come back and forth. I like that because I found that we need more flexibility on the forward direction to stabilize the gimbal. So let me tie it up. It's okay. Okay, let me go back to this side. Yeah, I want little flexibility so I'm not tightening it too much, and that let's put it in. Now see, you already reached too much this way. You have very less space to move it back. Now you got some more breathing space forward. So what we will do is just move it back first. We do the same thing first, like it's already stable in this state, and now next will be moving forward. We'll try to stable across this. So what we'll do is okay, let's tie it this way. This is the move. This is the face. Yeah, correct. Yeah, so let's stabilize it this way. So how to stabilize? The same thing. First this axis will calculate. It is falling down. Yeah, so it's falling this way. We move little this side. Falling too much. Little up. Yeah, so it's stable. Let's tighten it up. Now let's stable in this direction. It's falling down, so you have to move front. Let's move it and see, it's stable in this direction also. Now it will stable across this way. So I'm moving it to your direction so that you can see I'm loosening it up and moving it. Looks fine. Let's tighten it up. Yeah. So once it's stabilized, what you will see, any place you are keeping it, it is being there. It's not moving back. That means it's really found the center point of that 3-dimension place. See, it's very stabilized now. And see, it's not banging the base because we got extra elevation. It's not banging the base. It has enough distance. Now let's try to stabilize by this direction. So for the third axis, we'll hold it this way. And see if it is stable on this axis, that means it's good to go. Basically, why we stabilize the gimbal is so that the motor doesn't experience much pressure when you really switch it on and then it's fully onto the motor. So if it is already stabilized, then if you operate the motor, it will lose less battery. It have to do just the shaking compensation part and not the weight lifting part by a specific motor. Suppose it is too much hanging this side, this motor will get extra force, extra pressure to bring it in this position from here to here. That extra pressure this motor have to experience, and this motor can go damage. Otherwise, without stabilizing also you can use up to an extent, but you will be facing some artifacts. So yeah, okay, so with all this, let's start the gimbal. And one more thing, if you add this tripod and don't remove it, it's a good thing, because you will get some more grip to hold it, and mistakenly you will not hold this part and press the button mistakenly. So this is a good, you will get a good arm to hold, and your hand will not pain so soon in that case. Otherwise your hand might get extra force and you can't use it for a long time. So okay, let's start it by this power button, and see, this guy is up to the performance. And now there is a joystick and mode. So what the mode will do, so by default it will be in follow mode. Follow mode means how you move your hand left and right, it will follow your hand movement, but up and down, nothing. So if you click the mode button for once, it will move to a lock position. So when I click the mode button, that time it was facing that side, so it is locked on that side. So you do anything, no matter what, it will be facing that side. Okay, but in that lock motion, if you want to move it left and right or up and down, you can still use this joystick. So what I will do, we are trying to slide the joystick this side, and see it is moving this way. We are trying to slide this way, it is moving this way. So actually if you slide it this way, by default it will move this way. Like if I tell it from my side, I am sliding it this way, this one will move the same way that I am sliding it. So I slide it this way, it will move this way. That is the default behavior. But there is a Android app, by that you can configure the joystick. So I have configured, because I felt comfortable if I slide it this way, it will go this way. So you see, I am sliding this way and it is moving this way, and if I slide the other way, this way, it is moving this side. Now you can move up and down also. You just slide it down and see it is moving up. You are sliding up, it is moving down. So that also is the opposite of the default behavior. I changed it. And with all this, you can now switch on the camera and start capturing video. But one more thing, if like my mirrorless camera, it has a electronic viewfinder, and if you try to block the viewfinder by your head, try to see and all this thing, in that case it detects and it switch off the display, and only electronic viewfinder will be available. But in this mode, this particular motor can block that view, and it might feel that somebody is putting his head into the viewfinder, and it will stop displaying the display here. So in that case, there will be a setting in your camera. You can go and switch off the setting so that it don't do that explicitly. You can tell it explicitly that always, no matter what, switch on, keep the display switched on, because you are going to see only through the display. Suddenly, because of a movement, if you see that display is gone, then you have no way to see what is happening into the camera. And for just to see that, you have to move something like that, so that all the hindrance goes out of that sensor, so that the display comes out, and that will give a bad impression on the video. So don't do those things. You'll be learning those things. Just I'm sharing my experience. So with all this, and then this one also help you to, when your hand is paining, you try to keep it on a rest position. You can keep it like this and just get relaxed, and still it can face to the position, and you will be it will be still shooting. Okay, so yeah, I have a screw with little loose, because of that it is sliding down and losing its stable position. So while the motor is operating, you don't ever try to do anything by your hand here. It will give extra pressure to the motor. So yeah, I should not do that. I should do this way, and then I can switch it off and rectify that problem, and then bring it back. Like I can switch it off, and yeah, you can see it's falling down. So what I supposed to do is like adjusting it on this slide, and just taking this thing out, because I told you last time, like guys, making it slug for that adjustment. Now I'm done with the adjustment. Now I can tighten it, and now it should be good. Okay, so that's it for now. Okay, one more button here. You can see one more button, that one more pin kind of thing is there, that can move up and down. So this is actually used for that Sony camera auto zoom lenses. So my lens is it's a fixed aperture, fixed focal lens. This is a prime lens, so it doesn't have the zoom feature. But if you have a say 1855 or some lens that has that electric zoom, it has a button here. You can press it and slowly it will zoom in or zoom out. So that signal you can pass through a port here. So there is a port here. There's a port here. So it comes with a data cable also. Sorry, so that data cable I didn't show you before. So here is the data cable. You just cancel this. Okay. So you can plug a cable here and to here, and that will give an extra signal to the Sony camera through the cable when you will press this button up and down for that auto zoom feature of the lens. So that is one more thing. And there are so many other movements of the Zhiyun Crane or any such cranes. Like you can do this upside down while traveling on a vehicle. Suppose you want to show the road. That time we usually do this kind of thing. We hold it like this, and suppose I'm in a vehicle and just moving it in the level of road, and then shooting from the road level. So that those kind of things, different stunts are there. Okay, so that's it for now. Please let me know the questions, and I know there are so many improvement I have to do. I will arrange some lights and some silent room and all this thing, and please let me know if you have any question, and please share the video and subscribe to my channel. That will help me to give more such videos and it will be helpful for me as well. So thank you guys for watching my first video in this channel, and have a great day.